All right, guys, welcome to Behind the Lens with Colby and Liz. Today, we have a very special guest. This is our third episode. You're never going to believe who we have on today. But Liz, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty well. A little tired from yesterday, but
What was yesterday?
we did our engagement shoot.
Our engagement shoot.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. And guess who did our engagement photos? You're listening to Behind the Lens with Colby and Elizabeth, wedding photographers and cinematographer, business owners, and your new favorite podcast couple. That's our special guest for today. Her name is Roza Melendez.
Yay.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Excited to be
It's,
here.
it's an honor to have you on. I feel like we've known each other for
10
years.
plus years?
10 plus years. A
Yes.
decade.
Yes,
A
a
decade. That's
decade.
crazy. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is crazy. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Rosa. I do mainly weddings and newborn photography. It's my specialty, but I do across the board: engagement, families, anything.
I remember I used to attempt to do newborn photography
Yes.
when I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with photography, and it's definitely a niche all in itself. Like,
It really is.
I stopped doing it. I stopped doing it.
It's
The-
like you have to be really patient, and then you have to like figure out the timing of everything and when's the right moment to photograph the baby and stuff like that. I have not done
Well, let
newborn. I've done
alone-
maternity, but not newborn.
swaddling babies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
That's
you're,
an art
you're
in
in charge
itself.
of the
Yes.
baby and you got mama bear over your shoulder like, yeah, I've done this multiple times.
Yes.
There's like a technique to it,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like you have
And-
kids of your own,
yes.
but yeah, there's like a technique on how to get them in that
And the time
perfect
frame
position.
before 10 days old. So we have
Yeah.
to make sure, yeah.
So there is a
There's
time
little
frame,
tricks. Yeah. Once you learn, I think it's easier, but just learning is learning curve.
Yeah.
I think the best trick is doing it before they're 10 days old.
Yes.
Because I've shot babies older and
Mm-hmm.
they do not just sit in the little cute
no.
positions. They're moving around and doing a lot more.
Yeah.
They don't
Once
sleep
they
as
know they
much.
can. Yeah.
It's a lot more difficult.
Yes.
That's cool though.
Yeah. So you've been doing this. We've known each other for 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I think from what I remember, we met.
Beginning.
I liked your work. And I think you had posted a few, like maybe 2 weddings or something on Instagram. I reached out because I was looking for a second shooter. And I think that's kind of how we met. Like I wanted to work with you. I wanted to grow with you and kind of figure out how you did things because I liked your style. And I think we just linked up. And I know we did some styled shoots, but I feel like you weren't ready to work with me yet because you didn't have the confidence. And I don't know.
I actually try to remember when I met, like how we really met. I don't remember that part, but I remember we shot a lot of weddings together.
Yeah.
So you're like my go-to second shooter.
Yeah.
Really good with the guys. Like the guys felt comfortable with you. So it was I think a very good union the way we worked at weddings.
Oh, yeah.
But it took a while. I think I wasn't ready for myself to do weddings. I kind of jumped into it. I never second shot before, so I just started like jumped right in, started doing weddings, and after that.
Like stepping into that leader
I
role
never,
takes
yeah.
a minute,
I regret
right?
that's
Yeah.
my only regret. I wish I would have second shot before I did my own weddings. So,
But that's still kind of cool, though. You're
would've
just
learned
like,
a lot.
all right, I'm gonna go for it. Let's figure this out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So my first wedding, actually, it's a friend of mine. She said, "I'll give you $1,000 to do my wedding." And
You
are
got
you?
That's a
paid
nice first
$1,000?
job.
She was like, "Are
amount.
you?" She's like, "Are you in?" And I was like, "I cannot do weddings. I only have one lens, one camera.
Yeah.
I have a 3-month-old at home. There's no
wow.
way I could do a wedding." And she's like, "Take it or leave it. If the photos suck, it's fine." You know, she's like, "I'll take that risk."
You still got $1,000.
After that
nice.
wedding, she brought like
Yeah.
10 clients in. So
I got $100 for my first wedding, and I did photo and video by myself.
wow.
I think mine was $500, and I
So
did
you
my
guys-
cousin's wedding.
You guys
Okay.
got
Yeah,
me beat.
and I
I
was
was
like
very-
6
yeah.
hours of shooting by myself.
but if that
You know, I
was
had a
the
second
case-
shooter. Yeah.
I don't think I would have gone into weddings. So that's kind
So
of
you
like,
just had one person that's like, I'll give you a chance.
yeah. She
Wow.
basically trusted me, and I was like, I don't know, but yeah.
I think there's that moment of like, I don't know, but then I think in the back of your mind, you have that little voice saying like, I could do this. I just need to get over that hump of being
Yeah.
scared, right?
Well, to
Take
me-
it till you make it.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I was like, if I mess up, will you be okay? Like, this is your wedding day. It's a big deal. She was like, no, I trust you. Did our engagement. I love all the photos. If it's the same thing, then let's do it.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
awesome.
Were you
kind of
shooting auto back then? You
No,
know,
I knew how to.
You know the
yeah,
settings.
I
Okay,
knew
well,
that-
hey, you were going in pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew
you
the
shoot
settings.
manual already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is cool. So working together, we've definitely, like, you were my second for a lot of the weddings. I was your second for a lot of the weddings. Let's talk about some crazy stories that we've encountered along the way.
Okay. I remember when we were the car accident that happened. So luckily, my second shooters usually have their own cars. That way, when we're traveling from like the ceremony to the reception, if there is something that happens, we're not both together in it. So that kind of helped out because the couple didn't even know you were gone. So that was the good part. It was a little fender
Yeah.
bender. It wasn't a big accident. but it still had to. You couldn't just,
I mean, my truck had to get towed.
Oh, okay. Oh, it
Or
did.
your truck had to get
Yeah,
towed?
Rudy had to come pick
See,
me
I didn't know
up
the behind the
and
scenes.
give
I
me
just
a
knew.
ride and drop me off.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so
So it was.
all the cars in the left lane were stopped. I was cruising in the right lane. Somebody decided to let a car from the suicide lane through, and they just went. And like this lane is stopped, and I'm going like 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And literally, I T-boned them so hard. And then it was my brand new truck, so I jumped out the truck, and I know you're supposed to take photos of the accident, make sure everybody's safe off to the side. And then everybody was like, "Why is he taking photos? Shouldn't he ask if they were okay?" Well, I already asked if they were okay. And I
Yeah.
was taking photos, and then I called you immediately, like, "Hey, this is what happened."
Yeah.
You're like, I got a wedding to shoot. You
And then
seem fine.
Thankfully,
Just
like
kidding.
Rudy was local, like he
Yeah.
was close on a job, and he was able to pick me up and take me to, I believe it was the governor's mansion.
I don't remember those details.
Yeah, I remember those
Okay.
details. That's where he dropped me off, and I
Okay.
ran across the street, and we were in the front. You guys were in the
Yeah.
front area.
I just remember the couple did not know. I didn't tell them any of the just to not to get them nervous. But they knew you were somewhere in the wedding, but they didn't know where.
He's getting establishing
Like,
shots
where
in
are you?
Sacramento.
Exactly. Yes.
What a time for that to happen,
So-
though. Like, that's like, because your mind is like, I got to get to the second spot. Like, that's
Yeah.
like scary.
But that's
Yeah.
why having second shooter is important too. If it was like the main shooter and there's nobody,
Nobody
else
else.
covering, then the bride and groom might not have, the backup.
It's very
so
true.
whenever I do book the couples, I explain to them that I do have a second shooter and then, just the precautions of why.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we don't need a second shooter. Let's save money. No,
No.
there's not an option.
Well, yeah, because like even in instance, like I don't know if you've ever had your camera like malfunction
Yeah.
randomly. Like
Yeah.
you at least have your second. Hopefully
Just
they're
in
doing
case.
what
They're
you
usually
know,
like
they
the
should be doing.
fourth or fifth, like
Yeah.
plan C or D.
Yeah.
But it's still
right?
nice to have that.
Yeah. Like I think one time my card got full in the middle of like an
Yeah.
important shot and I had my second I was like, I need you to get this. I was like, I got to switch cards. And it was like them cutting the cake initially. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
You
so it's
can't.
important to have that second shooter. Yeah, for sure.
And to have reliable equipment. I've had
Mm-hmm.
some memory cards malfunction on me before back in the day
Yeah.
because I was shooting too high of quality, the right speed wasn't good.
The card was like,
And it wouldn't stop recording. My camera wouldn't turn off. Like it couldn't save the file. But thankfully, I do the dual record,
Yes.
and it was good. But
Yeah.
yeah,
it
a
was
little
it was
side
a little
note.
scare.
Dual slots are very important. Yeah, because it's either as the main, you're a photographer, like your cards could either malfunction, at least your second has it, or you have a second card that's still working out. So dual slots are important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And
Speaking of Governor's Mansion, do you remember that time I split my shin open from kicking the light stand from not looking behind me when I was walking, and I tripped?
vaguely remember. Yes.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
It's
it hurt-
traumatized.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, the pain hurt so bad, and I felt something running down my leg. I lifted up my pant leg, and I saw like white meat sticking out and like blood, and I did not do good, I guess. So I sat down. I kind of just like slowly blacked out, and I remember it was Alex and Lupita's wedding,
Okay.
and they look over and they see my pant leg up. And there's blood everywhere, and they're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
what happened? What happened?" And so I sit up. I come to, and it just really hurts. And I remember you kind of taking charge and finishing that location. And we went to the reception, which was at a huge barn, I think at a family member's
Yeah,
house.
I remember. Yeah.
And I remember his mom or grandma was just like, "What happened?
Yeah.
Sit down. We're going to take care of you right now." And I remember like feeling like a NASCAR, and they came in and like bandaged my leg, cleaned it all up. Like, then I went to the ER afterwards, and the doctor looked at me like I was an idiot for not coming straight in, because now it was so long. The wound had been open for so long. I couldn't get stitches.
Wow.
They had to do loose sutures,
Yeah.
and I have this huge gash scar. It was pretty gnarly. It's a nice story to tell. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah. See, from my point of view, I didn't realize how serious it was because you just kept.
He was acting fine,
Yeah.
right?
So I was like, oh, just he just needs a break.
Adrenaline's kicking in.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're doing a job like that, like I've shot weddings like super sick before. So
Yes.
you kind of have to have that mindset of like, I have to still go through with it unless it's like really dire like circumstances. So
I did. I felt really sick during a day after session, and we've already rescheduled once, so I didn't want to like reschedule it again.
yeah.
But I had to just push through it, and the adrenaline did kick in.
Yeah, your mind's like,
I
I'm
was
not
just-
sick. I'm
yeah.
good. Like,
But then the drive home, I had to stop a few times.
That's
I
when
was
you
like-
get to really
I was like, yeah.
relax and feel what you feel instead of putting on that mask.
But they had
in
no
front of the
idea.
clients.
I
Yeah.
was-
yeah.
They're like, I know you were sick. You could have just told us. Like, no.
You're like, I'm surviving on crackers and Sprite right now. I've had to do that. Yeah. It's crazy.
So your main thing is weddings and newborns.
Yes.
Is it both natural light, or do you use strobe or anything like that? Like, let's talk about your style of photography
Yes.
with the two niches that you kind of have followed into.
Natural light is my preferred light. That's where I feel like I work with the best. I do with newborns. I have strobe that I use, but I'm still learning that part.
Okay.
I feel like with newborns too, because of the flash and the bright light. I would prefer natural light. It's just not always available, especially people's homes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't get that, so I kind of have to work with what I get. But I do have natural light is where my sweet spot is.
Okay.
Natural light, yeah.
What about like using a hot light or some sort of constant light
So
for
I
the
used to bring. I
newborns?
don't know if you remember those like kind of like a lightsaber
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first started out for like the bride getting ready, I used to bring those. I have like little like square LED lights.
You
that
have some of
that I
those.
use
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
now and then when it is dark. But that's when I need to. That's not something I would go to. But if the location, like the getting ready location, is not the nicest, then I will add extra light.
Sometimes you gotta
Yeah.
plus them out a little bit.
But it's been I usually prefer natural light. I find a window. I usually go outside. I make it work.
Okay.
But
That's what you prefer too.
Yes.
You're a natural light
Yeah,
photographer.
I mean, it's just like you said, there's a comfort in it, and then
yeah.
I don't know. There's also unique challenges you have to overcome too when you shoot natural
Yeah.
light, right? Like you're literally on the mercy of the
light.
sun, the light, right? And then you have to be able to sometimes shoot in that direct natural light, or you find creative ways to use shade and the natural light. So it's like you're constantly looking, and your brain's going and trying to figure out like which is the best
yes.
like lighting for it, right?
Yes, but I do explain to my couples if they're having ceremony at noon, the pros and cons of
it,
direct light,
right,
so
yeah.
that they're not expecting these beautiful photos that are shot in like
Yeah,
shade or
yeah.
shot in, so they know what they're, what's happening.
Exactly,
Because I
yeah.
think the expectation sometimes the couple's like, oh, my photos are not like those that you posted.
Yeah, well, it's
And
like,
I'm
well,
like-
the time of day matters,
And
right? No
yes.
matter what, like even outside, you have to
Yeah.
have that constant communication with
Yes.
them,
But
right?
I feel like once they know, then the conversation after that is a lot easier versus having expectations of them that they're not realizing. So
Yeah, exactly.
explain that part.
Yeah, or like during certain seasons, right? We have
Yes.
it gets darker quicker, or
Yeah.
it stays lighter longer. So I've had to have that conversation with clients too. Like, okay, it's outside. You're doing a wedding that's in like November, right? It
dark
gets
at 5.
darker sooner. So it's like you want to do your family photos after like 6 o'clock. I'm like
Yes.
outside. I mean, like I could bring a strobe because I will in that
be
case for
flash.
emergency, but I prefer you to move it earlier because it's just nicer, and that's just like my preferred shooting style. But yeah. Talking about timeline and stuff like that is super important.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's I think where for me too. I prefer all the expectations to be
Yeah.
set earlier, so that way once it's all happening, we're both on the same page.
Exactly. And then you're not going on to that wedding being like, oh yeah, I could do all these things. And then you're just constantly in a stress mode because you're
Yes.
trying to figure out how to shoot what they want, but it's not gonna be realistic because of the
yeah.
time of day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I hate is spotty lighting, where like the bride is in the bright sun,
the trees.
the groom is in like the dark shade, or you have like half the audience,
In shade.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
or there's just like literally like spotty lighting with a
Yes.
tree, and then you just got like patches of
Yeah.
bright.
I was talking to a coordinator the other day, and we were talking about that. Like when you're seeing your venue for the first time, like you're touring it. It's like
the sun
you
app.
should try to go and tour it the time you kind of have the
Have the
idea of where
ceremony.
you want your ceremony to be, because you could be like, oh, I love this venue, it looks great, and then like you actually have your ceremony at a certain time, and it's like your photos are not going to come out, or even video is not going to come out the way you want it to, because you had this one idea because you toured it at not the time of day that you want your venue or
Exactly.
your ceremony. So it's like, I think if you're going to tour a venue, try to tour it on the time that you think you're going to have your ceremony, because then it gives you a more realistic situation. And then the bride and groom, the couple, will have a better idea of like, oh, okay, this is what I like. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the location of the sun,
Yeah.
as opposed to the time of day. Is it going to be in your face? Is it going to be behind you? Like,
if you
that's
can,
all-
right? It's like if
Yeah,
you
if you
could do
can.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get
Just-
it. Like they only do appointments in the morning. What can you really do, right?
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah. Why you liked me as a second shooter, and how I always carried your bag, and how I always
know.
did this. and,
How I always carried
like I would be
your
one
bag.
step
I
ahead of you.
actually-
Colby,
yeah.
can you do that? I already did
I-
it.
Yes, I actually did, because that's why I guess a lot of people are like, "Oh, you guys work well together." You wouldn't take things offensively, and sometimes when I get in that moment, I'm like, and I do it to Vicky too sometimes. I'm like, hey, go get this. Hey, go get, you know, like I become a little bossy, I guess.
No, never.
But for you, you're like with a smile all the time, running game of bags, or you make a joke about it, like very like, yes, you do too. That's why I was nervous, but same thing. So you would during those kind of moments, you would understand that I am like in a stress situation, and I'm like, go, 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 and then you kind of are like a step ahead of me, like I got it, keep going. I'm like, oh, cool.
I'm the same way. That's like a second shooter is also there to help take a little bit of the load off of the main shooter. So sometimes the main shooter has got so much going on and they're focused on here, here, and here, like worrying about everything. You have a good second shooter that can kind of, I already got that. You take care of this and this. You go tend to the clients. I'm going to go do cocktail hour. I'm going to go do this. Boom.
And I feel like we had a good flow going. Like, you know, I didn't have to send you like the shots that I wanted. You kind of already, after a few weddings, you kind of knew.
Yeah.
So like the groom getting ready, I never had to send you those. You kind of already knew. And I've always trusted your vision. Like I never had to correct it. I'm like, oh, you forgot this shot, or you know.
Yeah.
And everything I got I was always happy with.
There we
but it
go.
took like two or like the first, I think I sent you like the.
You would send me
I would
some
send you stuff in the beginning.
screenshots of just
Screenshots,
little
yeah, make sure to get this or
boards and
get this
stuff.
way. But then afterwards, it's like I didn't have to even do anything.
Yeah.
You got it.
You just know that reliability was there, which is
Yeah.
always a nice feeling. Yeah.
I think I'd always tell you too, if I'm shooting with like a short lens, you know, use a long lens, it's not the same. I wouldn't
Yeah.
get the same photos that I took. It
Yeah.
would always be something different. I'm like, oh, cool. I never saw that angle, but I like that. You know.
It's the same with video too. If I'm on a tight, somebody's
Yes.
on a wide. If
Yes.
I'm on a wide, somebody's on a tight. So it's
Or opposite ways. We're never together. Like at the ceremony, you're always across. You know,
yeah,
either on the left or the right side, or if I'm in the middle, you're up front. So I always like that. And
constantly moving around.
I didn't feel like I
doing
had
the
to tell you
dance.
anything. I think at one time we tried the walkie-talkies.
Okay,
we didn't like
we've
that.
upgraded since the walkie-talkies with
There's
the
walkie-talkies
earpiece.
you
Yes.
guys had.
Walkie-talkies,
Oh, wow.
you can't hear anything.
We had
You're
walkie-talkies.
like, there's like-
yes, we did actually.
No, it's
Over-
like a.
Oh.
It's like an earpiece, like the
Yes.
clear little spiral, like
Oh,
FBI
like
earpiece.
FBI.
We did look like
like
FBI agents
secret-
at
But
one
it was
point.
just a clear tube, so
Yeah.
the
Secret
audio
Service
could
vibes.
travel through. It wasn't like any high tech anything. And like you got these walkie-talkie, you had to run the wire through it. It was a
Under
pain
your
in the
shirt,
butt.
yes.
And then you're like, "Can you repeat that? I didn't hear you."
I know.
And then the person's like,
Yeah.
trying
make
not to be
sure-
loud. And you're like,
the audio
"I can't
wasn't.
hear you."
A lot of our weddings are Russian weddings, so they had ceremony full Russian.
Yeah, I'm
So
like,
Kobe
Roza,
didn't
what are they
understand.
saying?
So he was like, "Is this the kiss now? Is it where I'm supposed to
She's
be?"
like, "No, they're praying for another 45 minutes, and then we're gonna do."
"Yeah." So like, not yet, just wait. But then I'll be like, "Okay, they're about to do the first kiss. Get in the middle," you know. So but I actually prefer after a while. I feel like you understand. You know exactly where I need you.
I kind of knew what was
You can
up.
start seeing what's happening, you recognize, like,
so we
the
need
steps.
the extra wires, the extra stuff. And that was really nice. I prefer that.
Yeah,
And like
now-
even.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
But even now with the second shooters too, I think once you work with a few, you kind of know like the vibe or like
Yeah.
the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always call it a little dance.
Yes,
So there's the-
exactly.
yeah.
Well, now we have headsets, and you can hear. It's
Okay.
it's a little bit of a fashion statement. You know, we look real official,
Okay.
but you can definitely hear better and communicate. So, me as a videographer, I love giving them to my second and my assistant, and even the photographers, so that we can all communicate as like a well-oiled machine during the wedding day.
I will say it does help a little bit, because even if you do have like the typical, you know, ritual of how you shoot with your team, it does help sometimes be like, hey, if something happens during the ceremony that maybe the bride and groom didn't like tell you about, you could easily be like, hey, I need you to move. Can you get that shot? I'm going to go this way. So
Yeah.
sometimes if there's like last minute changes where you can't yell across the room or the venue or whatever, like it does still come in handy, I think. But just having, like you said, that reliability and knowing your team and you guys know you got it is still super crucial when you're working.
I wonder
for
if
weddings.
the headsets kind of help also block out the guests who are trying to. ask
Oh,
for
it
photos.
does. You kind of are when we do it. You kind of are in your own little like focus mode.
Literally,
I feel
just be like, "Okay,
yeah.
I'm on my way."
Yeah,
Just not even looking at anybody and just walk away.
yeah,
But with the headsets also, having photography and videography on headsets,
Okay.
like if I'm in the
More
middle
team.
with my gimbal doing video and the photographer's like, "Oh, I haven't got my wide shot yet. Like, hey, can you duck down or come back here real quick?
Yeah.
Let me get my wide."
Yeah.
Instead of being separate hires, separate
Exactly.
teams,
Yeah.
That's true.
maybe not getting that shot or getting that shot and then having to do more post-production
Yeah.
work. So it's
those last
it's-
minute communications, I think
Yes.
it comes
Yeah.
in handy.
Yeah.
But
I see the benefit.
yeah, but if you don't have it, it's not the end of the world. But we do like using it. Yeah, when we shoot weddings. Now he converted me over to it, because at first I was like, I don't want to wear this. So I was like, I could do without it. And then I'm like, oh, I see the benefits. Yeah.
Not only do we get to communicate with the team, but we get to talk smack about other people.
Just a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
like if therethere's anybody that's, you know, getting on our nerve a little bit, or we're just, you know, it's a way to like kind of release
It's
some
fun.
stress
Yeah.
throughout
It's
the
fun.
day a little bit, right? And it has really good noise cancellation too. So Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You flip it up, you can't hear, and then you flip it down, you can talk. So
Yeah.
it's one of the tools that I've invested in. That's really good. So I like it.
And you know Colby and his tools.
Yeah.
He's
Very
like we just talked
technical.
about before we started filming. He's much of the gear guy out of the two of us. Yeah.
No, I'm more. I see the vision, see the art, and now how do I get the gear to
Yeah.
capture it?
I think that's how I
what-
work like that too. I'm like,
That's where I'm
okay,
at.
I want this, but how do I do it? So
Exactly.
that's the nice thing about, you know,
Yeah.
Well, speaking of gear, we have a whole suitcase full of Canon L series lenses and a Mark III, a Mark IV, a Mark II,
possibly R5.
possibly R5. So we are going to be selling some Canon stuff.
I think I'm switching over to Sony, you guys. I mean, it's a little easier because my fiance, he
Has
shoots Sony.
all the
so
Sony
all the
gear.
Sony stuff. And I'm editing his photos because he just recently second shot for me. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm liking the Sony a little bit, but I've been Canon for, I don't even know,
I was Canon too.
10
It's
plus
okay.
years. Yeah. I do like the colors though. I will admit, I think they have better colors than Sony, but you can still fix that in post.
Bump up your saturation.
Yeah.
There's your color.
Yeah. I've never worked with anything besides Canon, so
Yeah.
have to-
But then I also like the fact that he shoots Sony and I shoot Canon, because then it's like we're the couple that comes in and shoots your event or wedding, where like he shoots a little different, like with different gear, and I shoot with different gear. And people are like, what's that like being with different gear? And it's like, it's not like the end of the world, but there is like some fun smack talk that we do to each other. Like, well, my Canon can do this, and well, my
Yeah,
Sony
well, you
does
can't
that.
you can't borrow none of my lenses.
I know, and then we can't.
Oh,
That's the issue a little bit, because
yes.
he has so much of his Sony stuff, and I have so much of my Canon stuff, and some of his Canon stuff too. So it's like we might as well just switch over.
yeah.
Yeah,
Use borrow to share and stuff. Yeah.
exactly.
What's your favorite lens to shoot with? What do you have in your camera
Well, it depends
bag?
on what I'm trying to shoot. If I'm shooting newborns, I do prefer the macro lens for some of the details. For the details, I love my macro.
With the little hands.
Is it
Yes,
100
the
mil?
tiny- Yes.
Okay.
But mainly right now, I'm liking the 85, and if I get close-ups, then the 35. So that's kind of always stays in my bag.
Okay.
And then the 24 to 70 if I need to like zoom or go quick.
Classic.
I heard the 85 is pretty good for Canon.
I love, yeah. It's really good. It's heavy though, so that's the only thing is that. But I'll take the weight for what it produces.
But you're really strong though, so it's like
it's an extra workout while I'm working. So
Do your
I'll-
wrists ever get
I'll take
tired
it.
by the end of the wedding? My wrists
Well, I do
do.
have the strap, so I'll just drop the camera. But my shoulders, and I do feel the next day like I got hit by a truck.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about
That
it
extra
yesterday in the
weight just
car.
pulling down on your
Yes,
back.
I do feel it, especially when I take it off. At reception, I take it off and I just carry it in my hand. And
Yeah.
I'll set it down wherever I need to, and I do feel a difference. I'm like, wow, I carried all of this with me.
Yeah, I know, right?
So,
So, Rosa, you just shot our engagement shoot.
yes.
How was it shooting photography couple? Because we both do photography. So how
Yes.
was it
Yeah.
working with us as opposed to somebody that doesn't do photography, that might not be in the industry? So how was it working with us?
And how annoying was it working with
And
us?
how,
Actually,
for real.
no, that I would take photographers over just regular clients any
Right,
day,
'cause-
especially if we're like we vibe good. And I feel like you guys knew exactly when I said the pose, you knew exactly what I wanted. Like you seen the vision, I had to like tweak a little like the foot here
Right.
or the hand here.
Right, because we can't see that when
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you guys knew exactly what to do, so I didn't have to go up to you and touch you as much. And before, I'd have to like actually reposition couples,
Physically mold them,
Physically,
yeah.
'Cause I'm like, move your head this way. If I just do
Yeah.
it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So for me, it was easier. And then halfway through the shoot, I even forgot that you guys were photographers because that's so much fun. So
There was
it
Colby
kinda-
at one point with his camera taking photos with his phone.
I feel
No,
like I bumped you out of the way.
Yeah.
and
No,
there
said,
was- there
Let
was
me
a-
get in here.
No, there was a time where I was getting just the solo shots of Liz, and then Kobe would like fix her hair and stuff. So I kind of got nervous then. I'm like, wait, is her hair out of place?
Yeah, you're like, did I
was
not
like,
see something
why
that I
didn't
should
I
be
fix
seeing?
her
Yes,
hair?
I was like, wait, am I missing something? But it was cute though, because you can tell he actually
Yeah.
like was paying attention too, and he had the camera getting behind the scenes
Yeah.
of you, so I thought it was really cute.
Yeah, I liked it. He got some
And-
really good shots too. of
Yes,
that. Yeah.
and it kind of like reminded me of why I'm doing this too. It was, I was like, wait, he's a photographer too. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows that this picky stuff is fine. A lot of other like just not random, but normally the guys don't really care about all the little stuff.
Yeah.
So if I start picking out little things, you can tell they're
irritated.
irritated,
They
and
go-
they start changing a little bit, and they start looking annoyed.
The vibe
So
is
I
different
try not
after
yes.
a while. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
so I
had
try
that
not to
happen.
do
Yeah.
as much like nitpicking, but I feel like with you guys, Kobe loved it.
Yeah.
Nitpick
So I was
away.
Yeah.
yes, so that's
We'll
kinda-
just be out and about randomly. He's like, "Oh, hey, let me fix your hair." I'm like, "Shoot, I'm like one lucky girl. I get
Yeah.
somebody that's constantly making sure I'm looking
Yeah.
looking good all the time.
Yeah,
So
I think I have a hair fetish or something. It's like, I guess, my thing.
no, I have a lot of girlfriends that are like, wow, you have a guy that loves taking photos. And I'm like,
Yeah,
he's a photographer.
that is a
If
plus.
anything, he wants to take more photos than me. And I'm like, babe, let's enjoy the moment.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There are those times, yes.
No, so it was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
had fun with you guys, and I did feel like the location that we chose was perfect.
Yeah.
Because we had like little breaks throughout. And we got to drive in a car together for 4 hours total there and back. So we really got to
2
know
hours
each other.
there, 2 hours back. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I know, yeah, because your assistant was like, "This is the only first day that you met," and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah," and I felt like we like really knew each other, yeah,
and that's usually why what I like driving with or carpooling.
yeah.
It's because we really get to like know each other. So the wedding comes, we're more comfortable.
Oh yeah,
You know?
I love engagement shoots when I get to know the couple ahead of time because it
Yes.
just makes, like you said, that day so much easier. Like
It's like
I
we're
don't
family. Like we're, you know, like
yeah, and then you can figure out exactly if they are the type of couple that maybe doesn't like the nitpicking too much.
Exactly.
Maybe would rather fewer photos than all the posed and like kind of stuff.
But it's true. You know, like some guys, I had a groom too that was like, I'm paying you, so I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. I like that. I don't mind.
Like,
I don't mind. But then I have
Exactly.
other couples like, oh, keep going
Let's
all
go,
day long.
let's keep
And, you know,
going, yeah.
I thought we had 2 hours, but 3, let's go. You know, but they don't mind the extra, the
Yeah.
extra time. The other guys,
We
like, no.
appreciate the time you gave us yesterday because we were like, are we like going too long? And then we
No.
could see that both of you were like, yeah, let's do this, let's do
Yeah.
that. Like,
No.
I love hearing your guys' reaction too. You're like, oh my God, this photo, or like this pose, the lighting. Like, it's nice to know that, like,
when the photographer gets
Yeah.
excited and runs over you,
Yeah.
oh, look at this, look at this.
it makes
shows
us
you the
really
back of the
excited.
camera.
Yeah.
Do you guys do that? You show the back of the camera?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you have to. I think it makes the couple a lot
Loosen up a little bit.
up.
It
They
sees
see
that
like
they're
where the
doing
vision's
good,
going, the
you're
vibe
doing
is.
good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
If you have a good photo to show them.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh yeah, look at
Here,
this.
look
And they're
at
like,
everyone.
bruh. Do they all look like that?
Yeah. I always show like what do we call it? The money shot. I think
Yes.
it's like
Yeah.
that one photo where you're just like super excited to go home and edit. Like I love when that at least happens a few times throughout a session because it's like, oh my God, I'm so excited to.
A few times I feel like yesterday at the,
Yeah.
okay, so we did San Francisco City Hall at like, when we get there, like 4, and we had 2 hours,
Yeah, like, 4,
6.
yeah.
So we shot from 4 to 6. There was not that many people there.
We were
Like,
very lucky.
had-
yeah. So
I know.
there was literally like one person
Like
up
3
here
couples
and then
shooting.
2 on the stairs that one time.
yeah.
That was it.
Maybe Thursday's like it's either we were lucky or it was just like the time to go.
maybe everyone's avoiding downtown or City Hall because of
yeah,
everything going
all
on.
the stuff. Yeah.
So we
Something.
chose a
Yeah.
good
It
day.
was perfect.
Yeah, it was just like so nice.
And
like,
the beach too. We
Yeah.
had the beach to ourselves.
Yeah.
There's nobody really.
There's
on
nobody
there.
there. It was just super cold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
stay
show you-
tuned for the
Yes.
beach shots, the
Yeah.
City Hall shots. So we went to City Hall, China Beach,
What was
Honor
it
of
called?
Legion.
Honor of Legion. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we stopped in there
Very-
and then finished it with some really delicious
Sunset.
sushi.
Yeah, sunset.
Sunset and sushi.
I think at one point we we're just like, yeah, food.
Food.
Yeah. I like that we got a chance to do that before heading back because it was just a nice way to unwind, talk about everything, and yeah,
Yeah.
it was a really good time.
Reminisce
yeah.
on the moments and
For
how
sure.
beautiful you looked.
I know. I was very like dolled up yesterday. I had my makeup done professionally. I had my hair done professionally. We'll also tag them in the captioning because they do great work for hair and makeup. Yeah, it was
I do feel-
nice.
You look like a bride. Like both you guys look like you were getting married.
Yeah.
We got
And a few congratulations,
like
right? during
3
the
or
shoot?
4 congratulations
Yeah.
yesterday, thinking that
I have
you
some
know,
Instagram messages like, "Did you get married?" Because they saw the city hall, and I'm like, "No, like it's not that."
We almost wanted to trick you guys.
Yeah.
We have some video content we
We-
might put out just to see if we still
little
can.
gag
with
reels.
you.
Yeah.
So
It
there was your warning.
It was nice. Yeah. It's nice to be on the other end of it, you know? And
yes.
I,
How was
it's-
that
Yeah. Yeah, it was, at first I was like, okay, I had to get used to being like in the dress and the makeup and stuff like that. But then once the posing and like where we were, like I was totally feeling it.
you
And
were
the-
feeling yourself.
Yeah.
You
I
told
was like,
me.
let's go. Yeah. But I'm just like, I've been shooting, like, especially May was such a busy month of shooting. I haven't had a chance to like, okay, get like super hyped up about the engagement shoot until we actually got there and I like got all the, like I said, the makeup and the hair and stuff like that. Like, and then I got to see you all dressed
I
up.
know
and-
when we started picking
and a
out like what we
sexy
were gonna
suit.
wear.
Yeah.
Getting all hyped up.
Yeah.
What shoes should I wear? Should I wear these or these? Should I wear this tie or this
Yeah.
tie? What about my belt? I forgot my damn tie clip.
It was a great experience because even though like, yeah, we knew exactly your vision, I liked still being able to be like, okay, Rosa, tell me how to pose, do this, do that, like how to, you know, I wanted to go with a little bit of like almost
mind.
open mind as if I didn't know what it's like doing an engagement session. So I try to have that mindset a little bit so that you could do your job to the fullest of how you shoot, you know? So I also wanted that.
We took advantage of that famous line. You're the photographer. You tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Or you do this. Or you do
Yeah.
that. You're the photographer.
Yeah, there's
All right.
I think some points too I was like screaming.
Yeah.
Like back. I was like, no, look away. No, look down. No, look up.
So I was
And
like, now I had the like more of the reality of what it is to be a client again, you know?
But to me, yeah, I was like, I'm not in a hurry. At weddings, I do have like usually like 30 minutes to shoot everything.
I know, right?
So
So
I
you're
am
like
very
bam,
quick.
bam, bam with it. Yeah.
then- yeah.
Sometimes you feel bossy and like but you want to give the client as many
Exactly.
variety and different stuff
Exactly.
as you
Yeah.
can, but then you're just like,
But then I forget
on.
because in the candids, you know, I'm like, wait, just let him be. Sometimes if it's
Yeah.
an awkward moment, then it's cool because then you guys are natural. You know,
You have to
then
have that
forget.
flow.
Yes.
Yeah. Of like, yes, I'm
like-
going to tell you what to do, but I'm also going to just tell you a little bit what to do
Yeah.
so that way the
Little
moment
bit of
unfolds.
direction,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'll
That's how I
take you
try to
80
shoot,
and
yeah.
you guys do the 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Then there are times where it's like the timeline doesn't go according to plan, and you're like, I know I still have to give you a gallery of what we talked about in our meetings, so you have to be a little bit pushy in that aspect, right? So
Yeah.
just a little bit, not to the point where it's uncomfortable for the couple, but you know that when you want to give them the final product, you're like, well, I haven't really got any photos of you guys yet. Like I have to like pull you a little bit to go do that because
But I felt like with you guys, you appreciated that.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
it didn't bother you that I kept like switching up so quickly.
no, I was like,
You guys
okay,
were
what?
so fast
Like,
because you're a dancer.
Yeah.
So I felt like with, you know, like every move, once I got it, I was like, okay, switch. There's no point to be in that one too long. But then I was
Yeah.
like, wait, let it, we're not
let
in a
it,
hurry. You know,
yeah,
like,
let it unfold
yeah,
and
let it
enjoy.
unfold.
No, you guys did great. I was happy with everything I was seeing. You know, when you did show us the camera, and I get to enjoy the moment with him more too, and like experience that because this is a one in a lifetime like experience and moment. You know, because this is you're my forever person. So I want to be in that moment, and remember as much as I can. So, yeah. Now we have the great photos. Yeah.
I was definitely in the moment.
Oh yeah.
Being able to like, at one point, I was like, oh, get a picture of her here and me in the background, but you're focused on her, but I'm like admiring. And then I was admiring her from the back. And then I'm like, we don't need me in all of these photos. And then I ran around and then that's the photo that I wanted. It was just you. Like,
Yeah.
it was awesome. Being able
Yeah.
to see her work with you and you just sitting there all in your feels and stuff like that. And it got me in my feels. So was
I
nice.
guess ready for the wedding? Ready for the
I know,
wedding
right?
photos?
Now
It's a good
it's
little-
till next year. So we gotta wait a
Yes.
little longer. But I did get my dress. I told you that, right?
Yes. Well,
So-
I seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did get my dress, and then we have our videographer. We're gonna officially pay him today, and then we're gonna sign the contract for that. What else do we have done? DJ's done.
Venue's done.
Venue's done.
We're picking toilets for our engagement party.
Yeah, we have quotes that because where we're having it, like she has just like one main bathroom and it's just not going to hold everybody. So we have quotes in our wedding email of what kind of toilet or outhouse, the type of whatever you call them, we want. So
Luxury outhouse.
yeah, right. Some of them are quite like
Yeah,
bougie
they
and
are.
expensive, and I'm like, I don't know if we need all this,
Yeah.
but I'll talk to the fiance and see what he thinks we should spend for a toilet. Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, like, yeah, wedding planning's going good. We just got another email from Stony Creek
Okay.
about picking the flowers and doing like another date to go up there and kind of figure
Like
out
a
table
welcome package
settings
thing.
and-
Yeah. Yeah. Like it seems far away, but it's not as far as, we think it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially when we hit the engagement party. We're having it on September 5th of this year. It marks the actual year
Okay.
from our wedding date. So I think when that comes, it's going to hit us a little bit. Yeah. We wish you can come back for that because I don't know. You'll be.
I'll be here in August for another wedding.
Oh,
It's a little sooner. But
If you come back in September, let us know
Yes.
because you're more than welcome to join
I would
us.
love to, but I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I am out of state, so I've moved from California to Georgia.
I know, it's so sad. I lost one of my best second shooters. Whatever.
Whatever.
Well, you guys
we
have a
still
team
forgive
together
you.
now. You guys can create your own little, you
Yeah.
know.
We're trying to build it
Yeah.
more. So that's the end goal too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can have. I wish my husband would. He tried a few times, but his patience did not.
I know the amount of stuff that you have
Yes,
to
you
deal
have
with.
to really,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
Have
very
patience.
people person, and you have to really communicate well. So he was like, "This is too much work." So you guys got the best of both worlds, you know.
Yeah.
You have
That
each other.
understanding too. Yeah. If like he has a job and I don't have a job that weekend, we have to understand that like that's what it calls for what we do, in the industry. Yeah.
yeah. And the calling when all the behind the scenes stuff that people don't see.
Oh,
you guys
gosh.
understand it. So
Dude,
He was doing that today before we came here. And
Culling, just going through them.
although sometimes I rather cull than edit sometimes because I feel like edit you're way more analyzing the photo, you know?
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
Really?
I used to hire someone just to cull my work because I
Really?
would, after I cull it, I don't even look at the photos anymore because it takes so
That's
long.
true. That's true. That's a good
So
perspective.
I'd have
of
someone
it.
to
Yeah.
cull it, and then I would just edit, and it'd be almost like a very, it's the first time I'm seeing this. So I'm like,
Right.
oh, I love this, and I
Yeah.
have fun editing. But if I cull, I can't edit the same day.
It's true. Yeah.
So I have to
you
have
have to have
separate
like a
days.
little break.
Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure me too. How are you with to kind of go into our little rapid question thing that we want to start doing? What do you feel about the turnaround giving sneak peeks? Are you like super like strict, like I got to give it in 24 hours, or do you tell your couples like
I'll get to it when I
give
get
it
to
a
it.
few days? Yeah.
So it depends on what shoot it is. I used to do sneak peeks for engagements. I stopped doing those because I ended up giving like 100 sneak peeks. By that time, I might as well just edit the whole wedding.
the whole
To give the whole
album.
I mean,
album.
not
Yeah.
the wedding, the engagement session.
Yeah.
But for weddings, I do want to give sneak peeks within a week.
Okay.
So it depends on if I'm traveling. Now that I'm flying to
Yeah,
California
I
for
tell
weddings.
clients that too. Like
Yes.
it depends on how far away your wedding is.
Yes, but I would prefer they post my photo versus a cell phone shot or somebody else's stuff.
Right.
So I would do want to get at least, like 20 to 30 photos. I can't just do one or two because I don't want them
Yeah,
to hate those
exactly.
one or two
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
doubt the whole wedding. So I do want to at least give like 30 to 40
Okay.
sneak peeks, but within a week I do give them
Right,
sneak peeks.
yeah.
And I usually give
We know some photographers that do it 24 hours later. I'm like, you're a
I mean,
boss for
if-
doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they, that would be the preferred. but
right.
I'm not
if you
the-
can. Yeah.
I'm
Sometimes
not,
I can and sometimes I can't. Yeah. Depending on how I'm feeling the next day, to be perfectly honest.
exactly.
Yeah, my timeline's a week.
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
to 30
I do
photos.
give them. I do videos the whole wedding day, so they usually post those on their stories and stuff. So they do tag me, which I really, it's really nice because they get to relive that day the next day. Because on the day
Okay.
of, they don't see anything.
Okay.
And I usually take at the end of the night or after the wedding is when I post all my behind the scenes. And then they basically post them on their stories, so any
Okay.
of their audience get to see. Like that's how I get the inquiries from all their wedding guests.
Yeah.
because they repost my stories.
Like what you did with us.
yeah.
All the boomerangs
most
and like the
people-
little
Yes.
cell phone stuff that you
Yeah,
got.
so
Okay.
for me, video and my photos is kind of like it's part of my schedule. Like
Hand
it's
in
not,
hand, yeah.
yeah. And then people I give
There's a purpose.
There's a purpose. It's not just because
Yes.
and my clients understand that. So when I take my phone out, it's not like, oh, you're ignoring us. I'm like, no, I got my shots, and
Yeah.
now this is the part.
Yeah,
this is the
you're
second
like, I
part.
need to take a moment to do this. I do like that about you. I noticed when we did our engagement session that you got your shot and then you like, okay, I'm going to still prioritize a little bit of video because, that's the life of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
We're trying to still make sure we can get our next
Yeah,
client
and
to a
posting a
certain
photo is
extent.
nice for the story, but if you get a video, you get more of a, you do video, so I'm sure you understand
motion,
exactly.
the emotion,
You get the feel, plus the
like-
song. If you put a good song together,
Yeah.
like all together, it's it creates that whole like storyline a lot
like
better.
yesterday, you did spend some of the car ride. You're like just
Finding
putting
the-
the phone to your ear, be like, I'm trying to find a good song, you guys, for your.
Yeah, I have to make sure because some of the lyrics, you're like, wait, this is not what
Yeah.
what this engagement shoot is. The message that it's trying to say. It's like, no, let's not do that.
This is not matching the vibe at all.
Yeah.
But I do like to do that. So on the wedding day, I do that as well.
Yeah.
And the whole day is pretty much documented through my phone. And sometimes with the second shooters, I do ask them to prioritize the behind
Some
the scenes.
BTS, yeah.
That way, if I miss it, at the end of the night, we
Yeah.
airdrop everything.
That's one thing we're trying to do better too with telling our seconds. Like, hey, get any BTS you can
Yes.
of us, or just whatever you're trying to, capture of that day. It helps out tremendously.
and it's
Yeah.
nice for whenever you're making reels later on in the future. You're like, oh, I have all these, behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And then you don't
Yeah.
have to start pulling, or you don't have to worry about that. So you
Yeah.
have all of that.
Yeah.
So now I'm just trying to kind of do more reels. I'm not, my priorities are not with my family. So I'm not pushing as much reels out. But if I did, I would focus more on reels and more on the social media, like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, but that's pretty nice that you're in the phase of your life where you're choosing when you want to
Yes.
work and choosing when you rather spend time with your family. So that's definitely a goal, I think, for anybody in this industry to eventually work that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
to find the balance, but
Okay. Let's see. Videographers, besties or battle?
I love working with videographers, and it's very rare that we don't get along. But I do have some videographers do like to get in front of me sometimes, but we do work well together. I
Yeah.
feel like it's communication is the thing.
Exactly.
Once you communicate, once I explain my goals, once they explain their goals, I want them to get their video. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's for the couple.
yeah, and you
the
want to have
couple-
that,
That's the main goal.
Yeah, I want
You're
them to
both there for the couple.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
to get your shot, to get my shot. My shot's gonna be better than your shot.
Right.
Like let's both get amazing shots for them. You
Yeah.
take your turn, I'll take my turn.
just like
Yeah, I will admit, I've worked with some videographers that did not care about me as a photographer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once I explain, and usually I do take charge, so I get my stuff first.
Yeah.
But then I back out, and I was
Yeah.
like, now I can get my phone shots while they get their
Exactly.
shots.
Yeah.
So I think the respect, like
That relationship there of
Exactly.
working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love working with videographers. And if I know that, I asked a couple ahead of time if they have video or not. If I know that, we do add extra time into the photo session. I was like,
You
if
have
there's,
to add it in a
I was
little
like,
bit.
if there's
That's
video
true.
in me,
Yeah,
then
that's
we
when
have
you
to
might
have more.
be fighting for the time
if it's
to
an
get your
hour,
shots is when there's not enough time.
There's
Like,
no
yeah,
time.
you're both there for the couple, but at the same time, you still have to do your job.
Yeah.
And they have to do their job. And
Yeah.
if there's no time, they're like, well, why didn't you get this shot? Or why didn't you get that shot? The photographer got this shot. How come I don't have this for the video?
I mean, you're still a team even though you're different companies, or if you never even worked together
Yeah,
before.
you're
You
still a
have to
team.
go in with that mindset.
Our goal is for the couple to have
Yeah.
a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
It's not just for you to do where your services are. It's for all of us to make sure we get that whole day captured video and photo. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
yeah, no, I've had a videographer that set up a tripod right behind me during a first dance without telling me that he set up, and I walked back and almost tripped. And I was like, maybe you should have communicated that to me
Yeah.
before I almost tripped with my gear and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, definitely was, like I said, I've had my experiences with some that I'm like, communication is key for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
what we do in the beginning, like the getting ready. I do like to have a little conversation, so
Yeah.
that way it's more comfortable. It's not like we're competing. We're
Yeah,
not competing.
exactly,
We're not,
yeah.
we're all on the same page,
Yeah.
same team.
Although I would say that wedding, I was very like, hey, are you ready? And like, I'm going to do this and that. And just, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've had actually a battle.
Oh.
I feel like also that comes with experience. Sometimes maybe a less experienced videographer or photographer might be just so focused on getting their stuff. They're not willing to take that step back, let you get your stuff. They're kind
Yeah.
of just like, I got to get my shots. I got to.
No matter what, it's a team thing.
Yeah.
So just go in, if you're new to it, go in with that mindset.
Yeah, but if I know there's a video, I do tell my couple to give me more time. Otherwise, there's nothing I can do about
Yes.
it, and they
Yeah.
understand that. So
It's
there's
a-
no, so I don't feel like I have to push the guy out of the way,
Right.
because I'm like, he only gave me 20 minutes, so
Yeah.
there's nothing I can do. But just get these
Exactly. I
shots.
always say that hey, we're gonna probably do this same scene or pose twice. One still and one with movement, so they know that okay, you might have to do this a couple more times so that each team gets what they need. Yeah, it's super important. All right, gonna jump into one more. Let's see. How do you feel about outsourcing editing or do it all yourself?
I have never outsourced, and I get kind of nervous outsourcing because I'm so I like to micromanage everything, and I feel like I would have to do the same amount of work by calling and then just sending the stuff out while I'm might as well just edit it while I'm there. So my problem is not I do like to do it myself.
Yeah.
I can't put my name on something that someone else did. I feel some kind of conflicted about
Like
it. So
what's the word I'm looking for? Like
I feel like if you're an artist, you
Yeah.
want all of it to be. I don't know. I like all of it to be.
It's your
even
brand,
though it
yeah.
sucks because I know I could do a lot more weddings. I could do a lot more work. I can expedite and,
Yeah.
and get so much stuff, but that's not my priority. I don't want to be
money hungry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not my
Still
focus.
trying to focus on the art of
Art
it.
is still
and
my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I still like to have my hands on everything, even though I know I'm I could do. I'm only
You do
booking
more, yeah.
I could do more, but I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm okay with not having more.
I remember when I was like you.
Yeah,
I
he
used to be the
outsources.
same way. Micromanage. I could never let go of the reins and let an
Yeah.
editor do that. But I feel like it's kind of job based. So
Yeah.
for me, it's job based. Like my real estate photos for the longest, I'm not a real estate photo editor. I don't know how to do the bracketed images and do all that. I know how to take them. But when it comes to editing, I send it to my guys. I wake up in the morning way better than I ever did. And so that took my real estate photography to the next level. When it comes to real estate video, same thing. I could edit a good video, but now I send it to my editors, wake up, I have an amazing real estate video. When it comes to wedding photography, I still edit all of my wedding photography stuff. There was a point when I was super busy, I did hire this company. It was a flat rate per month, and you got unlimited culling. And I think they edited 1,500 images per wedding. So, but I feel like, again, there wasn't that attention to detail with this company. They were a big company, but I'd get the photos back and some of them would be good. But then you got 400 or 500 photos and you're going through and you're like, well, this one, you need to make those tweaks. I still had to go through and I still had to make all the tweaks. And then sometimes they tried to match my style and I'm like, this isn't I filled out the style guide. I showed you all my wedding albums, this is how I want it. And then I would get stuff that's this is not CB. So
Yeah.
I stopped doing that. Real estate stuff, I love having editors. Weddings, no. But when it comes to this podcast, I'm not going to edit this podcast. My
We
editors are going to edit
give
this
them the notes on
podcast,
how we want like the clips
and it's going to be
stuff.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like the reels that they make,
Yeah.
I can't make the reels like that. So I film
I
it.
under- Yeah.
And boom, but it's still a CB product.
Yeah.
I still got my name stamped behind it.
Yeah.
I do quality control. I set the stage and the tone for all of the stuff. But being able to let the reins go, like I do have more
Yeah.
time for my
Yeah, your
fiance, my
Mm-hmm.
family. Like I just remember editing. You work all day, take all the photos, and then at night it's literally just computer work. And it
Yeah.
got to me.
Yeah.
So I started
That's wh-
delegating.
That's where I see the benefits, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what's. I would do the reception. I would call out, or even the because it's all night dancing. I'm sure
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
But
Photos
the
kinda end
photo
up the same.
portion, like the sunset photos, the getting ready, I still
You're like,
Bride and
I
groom
want
photos,
those.
the
Yes.
main,
Yeah.
like
The main
the
ones?
wedding album photos.
yes,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
I would still do myself, but I can
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
There's benefits for
There's-
sure,
yes.
right? There's
Certain
it
jobs,
gives
it
you back
benefits.
time, but then it's also like you built like your legacy off of like your style and how you edit, right? And I know a lot of companies that actually find really good editors that do exactly what they want. I do think it does take the time to build
And train.
and train it. So like I think in the long run it could be beneficial as long as you get like that unicorn of an editor
Yeah.
that's like does exactly what you
Yeah.
want, right? So
But even I change my editing style as I go sometimes,
Yeah,
like with each wedding.
for sure, I
or
agree with
each
that, yeah.
couple,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I can't tell them exactly what I want. I know that,
yeah.
So it's hard.
It's hard. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
You know, he keeps telling me maybe you should outsource some of your editing for weddings, and I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like
I've never tried. So
This
maybe
is
if I
me.
try, I might
Yeah.
be sold. But I've never gone. I've never.
I might try. So if I do try it, I'll
know.
let you know what I find out and discover.
With certain things, it can definitely be a blessing. And I just
Yeah.
have to give a shout out to my editor, Rafa, who's amazing. He's literally taken my business to the next level. And I appreciate you. So thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for being a part of the team. Can't wait to see this episode. So
Yeah.
shout out to Rafa.
Yeah.
Other than that, like where can people find you? Like what are your social media handles? Do you have a website? Where do you want people to go?
So I'm mainly on Instagram, Roza Melendez Photography. You can find my work there. I do need to post more. I've been very behind. My website is in need of an upgrade. It's been
We're all right
been a
there
minute.
with you.
So,
Let's just be honest.
don't go there. Just go
We're not
straight
judging.
go straight to my Instagram. Stories are my main thing. I do post on stories all the time. So you'll see my personal life. You'll see my photography. I still keep up with that.
Yeah.
But as far as posting the work, I am slacking a little bit at the moment. But you'll see a lot of my stuff there.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun. The engagement session and today.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
we get to
I
see you
was so
twice in a row,
juiced.
and I get to know
Yes.
you more, and I get to hear about like what it was like with him back in the day. So I appreciate your time as well. Yeah,
When did you move to
During
Georgia?
COVID. So right after
like
2020, 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I liked is
2021.
I haven't seen you since then, and we literally picked up right where we left off. It was not awkward or nothing. We
Good
just
friendship there.
it
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
So I'm glad
Yeah.
you came back. I'm glad that I recommended you to do our wedding photography.
I'm
and
glad you
videos.
guys chose me.
I
Yeah, I
feel
feel very-
comfortable with you right away. So you know,
Well, I feel honored because
Yeah.
having two photographers, I know it's not an easy choice choosing somebody. So I feel honored being chosen.
That was the main question. Everybody was like, "Who's gonna
gonna
shoot
shoot?
your wedding?"
Yeah. We're like, I don't know.
This
And then-
person right here.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, you
Um,
came to mind very quickly for him. So
Yeah.
and then I saw your work and I was like, yeah, because I feel like you and I shoot the same way. We were natural light lovers. So I was like, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will ask. Could we get some sneak peeks to throw in this video?
Yes. What's the time limit?
A week.
I mean, this
Yes.
it takes time to even edit this. So yeah,
Yeah. So stay tuned for some sneak.
I'm excited too.
We'll throw in some little behind the scenes videos too because
Yeah.
they're super cute. But
Yeah.
where can they find you?
Just on social media right now, Instagram and Facebook, Elizabeth Dyer Photography, and my website as well, Elizabeth Dyer Photography. Yeah. And then here on YouTube for Behind the Lens.
That's right.
Where can we find you, Colby?
You guys can find me on Instagram at CB_photography916. I have a personal YouTube channel. Well, not personal, but it's for my business. It's Colby JSB. And then make sure you subscribe to Behind the Lens with Colby and Elizabeth. Or Colby and Liz. What is it?
I think it's Colby and Liz. Yeah. My nickname's Liz.
Yeah.
My professional business name is Elizabeth. So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's a wrap. Stay tuned for episode 4. I think we are unsure
This
who
is
we're
episode
having.
3?
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
4.
episode 3.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for who we're going to have on episode
Duh.
4. Are we doing Doug?
Yes. I'm going to bring on my go-to second shooter for sure. So get Doug on here.
There
Yeah.
we go. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you
This
for
was
having me.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited.
All right. Well, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Oh, wait. Shout out to Vicky.
Vic, come over
Vicky
here.
or Vic? What do you prefer
You
to
gotta
go
accept
by?
it.
Okay. Okay,
is
yeah.
there- is there a chair?
She also did some BTS for us.
I got a chair. Oh, I can't.
Stand by Rosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we
This is
go.
my
you.
second shooter now.
Yeah.